Hey folks, welcome to the Wealth Transfer with TC. Today, I'm just going to be giving you guys a quick update on the stock market, Bitcoin, Shiba Inu, Shina Inu, and just overall on the cryptocurrency markets, and share a couple of number of different things. But first, before I get into that, folks, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just sharing information, giving you my thoughts and my opinions on information. So if you guys like these videos that I make, the support links are down below in the description and also the About section of YouTube. Okay, so the first thing I want to go over is the stock market. And we saw that the Dow took another beating today, down 326 points. We had the inflation numbers that came out today, and a lot of liquidations are going on, and there's a lot of earnings that aren't very good for a number of bigger companies. So who knows how much longer this trend is going to continue. But, you know, we're almost in the middle of May, folks. And I'm very, very excited, you know, and I think I'm more excited to see red right now than I am green, because there's going to be so many opportunities, and I believe that there's going to be some explosive growth out of all this. So the NASDAQ took a hit of 373 points, the S&P 65, the Russell 43. I want to share this example of kind of what took place today, and I believe that we are headed into that time period where you are going to see a lot of individual stocks start to skyrocket. And whether it's due to liquidations, short interest, whatever the case could be. Individual good news for a company, right? So AFI, Armstrong Flooring, went up by over 280% today. All right, so it opened up at 18 cents and a low of 14 cents and a high of 74 cents. Right, and now back in after hours, it's down to 40 cents after a high of 74 cents. So this, again, is a lesson to be learned that there's going to be stocks that are going to be taking off, and you need to take profits. Now, you remember when I shared with you guys in 2021, Solomon had a prophecy, and it was entitled about taking profits, because that's exactly what happened. All these individual stocks were taking off, and people needed to take profits. And we're at that point again. There's probably a lot of people that thought that it was going to go up higher than 280%. Some people probably jumped in at 70, 73, bought in at obviously at 74, and now it's back down to 39 cents. Now, I looked at the short interest, and it seems like the volume has dropped, slowly, up until yesterday, where it was only 7%. So the shorts got out of it, and obviously, there may have been some news dealing with this company. I don't know exactly what was the number one cause, but it just goes to show sometimes when you do see the short interest drop, and drop dramatically over a period of days, right? So people who saw this, hey, looks like the shorts are starting to get taking their hands off the stock, and it shot up for the day. So you just need to make sure that, when you see these things happen, take advantage. There's always going to be other opportunities. If a stock goes up to 300% and you took at 200%, you still took a profit, right? And there's always going to be opportunities, but we do have to, in the wealth transfer community, learn how to let go. And this is a lesson too for us who hold Zion oil, and we can experience this on that same particular level, whether it's a short squeeze or whether they get news. This can happen within a short period of time. And let's talk about Bitcoin, and it is at 28,247. And we've already really hit that prophetic mark, and this thing could just keep going down. And it could go down into some type of flash crash. Now, remember, folks, I showed you guys what a Bitcoin flash crash looked like. And it wasn't something that just happened within a minute. It happened over a period of time. And that's what we're waiting for. Now, it might be very well, since we were already in that prophetic range of 30 to 35,000, that it is headed to zero at this point. Now, it could jump back up to that 35,000 range and then head straight back down. But that is what we are expecting. And a lot of people, and there's a lot of fear out there right now, especially in the trading world, dealing with all the different markets, and people are asking, when is this going to end? And right now what is happening is the shift. we're getting ready to witness this turnaround that's about to happen. So there shouldn't be any fear about this. And it's kind of weird because me seeing red with Bitcoin, I'm more excited than seeing it in green because I know what's getting ready to take place. And so we should all be in position, and hopefully most of you guys have taken the opportunity to at least put Bitcoin Buy Limit Orders on one or two platforms, at least. Now that document is down below in the description with some of those platforms. And make sure you read the whole entire document and take your time. I mean, for all we know, we could wake up and Bitcoin could be at 25,000 tomorrow. And Shiba Inu would be at 5 zeros instead of 4. And looking at Shiba Inu, it looks like it's getting pretty close to adding another 0 here. All right, and so that's why I shared with you guys, make sure you hold something back for Shiba Inu. And that's one of the things I did want to clarify, that yesterday in my video, I shared that Shiba Inu could lose another 0 according to Solomon's prophecy during this time period, when in actuality what I meant was that it could actually add another 0 during this time period because of what she saw, that it could possibly add another 0. So it'd be at 5 zeros and whatever else after that. But I think if a BTC did flash crash, you'd actually might see it at 2 zeros. So make sure you hold back. You just wait to see what takes place. Because regardless of the outcome, we're all in position now. So whatever you have extra, I would just sit back and just wait for any of these prophetic stocks or any of these prophetic cryptos to begin to take off. Tomorrow, it could, instead of all of them taking off, it could be just one. It could just be one particular stock. And I do want to take a look at Shina Inu. And you can see the line where I bought it from here. And again, this is another lesson that, especially for those of you who did buy really high, and it's even a lesson for me. I thought I got in at a pretty good point, and it's actually, below that now. If I just would have waited, I could have got, maybe twice as much as I have right now. But whenever Shiba Inu takes off, and that catalyst, that's going to take it up by 200 times, right? Obviously, that's another thing that we are waiting for. We're going to be taking some of our profits and putting it into Shina Inu. So you guys are going to have to move quickly in all of this. All right. I don't know if Shina's going to be on a platform by the time that this happens, but at some point, we are going to take our profits, and it could be from the Bitcoin Buy Limit Orders. And we're going to be putting our money in Shina Inu and a number of other different prophetic coins like XLM or XRP, depending on where they are at. And especially if you get a flash crash and you're able to sell off some Bitcoin and exchange it for other cryptocurrencies when it does go back to that point, then you're going to be able to put a lot of money into these different cryptocurrencies. And I'm going over this list. I see XRP at 38 cents. Wow, folks, did you ever think we would ever see that price? I think the only person who has seen it that low, or at least talked about it, was Prophetess Sharon. Right, Dogecoin is at 8 cents. And remember, God Guy said, I believe he said 0.034 cents. So that might be very well the bottom. And that's what I'm using on Phemex with, contract money. If we get a flash crash, yes, I could see Dogecoin maybe even going lower than that. Who knows? But just to be prepared for that moment. And you got Tron at 7 cents, and that's actually been decently strong, and that is another prophetic token. Got Kronos at 19 cents. Stellar at 11.9 cents. Folks, there's definitely opportunities that are getting ready to come our way. And that's what we hope. We hope it's either Bitcoin Buy Limit Orders or it's through Shiba Inu. And you have the Aprecoin down to $5.31. Now, I never really talked about Aprecoin. So if you get a Bitcoin flash crash, I would go ahead and put Aprecoin on the list. As far as I know, I don't know if it's a prophetic coin or not, but it was a coin that did come out of the woodworks from what I could tell, and all of a sudden it just skyrocketed. At Theta at $1.25, it's down 50% from a week ago. You have Gala down to 6 cents. That's a pretty big deal. That's one of the ones I am getting in that I will pour money into. There's definitely a lot of opportunities that we'll be able to take once this flash crash happens, and that means you can look at ETN, Redcoin, all the other ones. A lot of the dog coins that we've been discussing, and I think I did find another possible cat that I'll be adding to the Shiba Universe list. One of the things I want you guys to start thinking about is you remember some of the prophetic instructions by Chris and Claudia and even a few other people about taking their profits and putting it into XLM and XRP and Shiba Inu. When I think about that now, with the Bitcoin Buy Limit Orders, that's where we pour into Shiba Inu. Then for most who have these same instructions from God, you're going to pour it into XRP and XLM. And there is a lot of other coins that are prophetic coins that you can also, we'd be able to start pouring some of your finances into that. And we're going to have to be moving during this time period, like I shared before. You're going to have to, however it bounces back up, because it could bounce up to 10,000 in the one prophetic word and then go back down to 0. So you might sell off, 50 Bitcoin at 10,000, and then you start putting that money into all these other cryptocurrencies and some into the dog coins and Shiba Inu and all that. And I think that's what this dream really means, that this deals with the Bitcoin Buy Limit Orders. We're taking money that you have, a lot of wealth, and pouring it into Shiba Inu and some of the others. Really quickly, I do want to talk about Coinbase, and I don't want people to fear. Don't fear the news. Many of you guys already heard that Coinbase discloses customers can lose their crypto if it ever goes bankrupt. And that is true, and it's already happened before with previous platforms, right? The CEO came out and said that there's no bankruptcy in the future, but there's always that possibility that it could happen, right? And there actually have been exchanges that have just shut down and nobody got anything back. So don't fear the news, because I don't think that we would get a prophecy concerning Coinbase and then Coinbase would tank or Coinbase would take your money. And that's one of the reasons why that, we say, and what I have shared on here is transfer your Bitcoin to Kraken. Remember the list that deals with all the different platforms and how much money that you could pull out to your bank account and how much you could transfer in and out and all that. And Kraken was the number one platform for that. And for me, the only thing that I have on Coinbase is the Bitcoin Buy Limit Orders. And I have shared that if you are on Coinbase, make sure that, now, if you started off with Coinbase, and I've shared to move on to other platforms. So if you have not done that yet, then most definitely start to do that. Start to learn some of these other platforms because you're going to be needing to move finances here and there. If you want to invest in some of the stocks from the Bitcoin Buy Limit Order, what are you going to have to do? You're going to have to transfer money to your bank from your crypto account, right? And there's going to be a process of 2 or 3 days and all that before everything is cleared in your bank and you can get it into your stock trading account. And I believe that we are so super close to this. And, it could be a whole nother week of Bitcoin moving around between where it's at now to 35,000, or the stock market ups and downs and the individual stocks that are going to be exploding during this whole time period. So now's the time, folks. It's May 11th. And after we get out of what we're going through right now, there's going to be so much tremendous growth. And not just prophetically speaking, but at some point, especially with the cryptocurrency markets, it's going to turn around. This is not something that's going to be lasting for a very long time. And there's going to be that catalyst that does push up Shiba by 200 times. So I am pretty excited. And it's just a matter of just waiting now, folks, and just, holding back and waiting for opportunities to invest and waiting for this Bitcoin flash crash. So one other thing I do want to bring up, and that way you don't cause yourself confusion. You need to look at like Master Crypto list. You need to look at the Dogecoin list. You need to look at, however you are keeping track of these different prophetic tokens or coins or investments. And you really need to sit down and figure out, okay, when this happens, these are the cryptocurrencies that I want to invest in. These are the stocks that I want to invest in, right? And any other investments, right? So you want to make sure you have your list of stocks, and you also want to make sure you have your list of cryptocurrencies. Now, me, myself, I could probably say that, there's probably at least 20 different cryptocurrencies that I'm going to get involved in, first of all, that are prophetic, and not just, I'm looking for these prophetic coins that are going to bring in a lot of wealth, and it doesn't have to happen instantaneously for me, right? Because I know that if I begin to invest like in Shina and Baby Doge and Dogecoin and many other different cryptocurrencies that are going to explode, it's going to increase my wealth. And so even though there is a lot of prophetic coins, I have about 20 that I just, that I'm going to be settling on. And then I also have a short list of other prophetic coins that are not ready yet, that we'll be getting into later on. We could all be multimillionaires, and there's still some of these coins, these prophetic coins, that still have not shot up to that level. And when I look at the different flash crashes, right, if we were supposed to experience this again at 70,000 or even at the 111,000 mark, and we experience this again, you're going to be so prepared. And, the amount of wealth that you're going to be generate, for God's kingdom, for yourself, for your family, and it's just going to be enormous. So that is all I have for today on this. I hope you guys are encouraged. I hope that you guys are doing well and that you are prepared, and that, take your time this week, to really try to keep yourself focused and in prayer, and really, really try to stay focused. And that's why I think I brought up the whole thing with, figuring out your coins and which ones you do want to invest in. So for the BTC Buy Limit Orders, those are down below in the description. In the Patreon description, you're going to have some of the dog coins and so forth. That is all I have for today, so I thank you for listening. God bless. TC out.